but I almost feel like this one could go 21 minutes if that's the difference between blowing up this planet and...
Nope. Can't do it.
I mean, can we cut...
You have no idea what would happen to the universe if we did that.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty sight.
6% devastation. Wow. Oh, but the planet cracker is actually in position. %, charged. And just as importantly, if not more importantly, my construction ship, the UNS Bengal, is 147 days away from coming to the system. And,
awesome.
We won't be able to mine for living metal, obviously, but some of the other stuff. Like there's 3 engineering research that we'll be able to start working on.
Yeah, 3 whole engineering research. That'll really make a difference.
Well, I'm at 16K now, so I'll end up at 16.000003K. That's probably not mathematically correct. I'm not good at paradox math.
You should learn.
Start building off-world trading companies here because that's important right now.
Oh, Boner Secundus could use a building.
Boner.
Why can I not build housing on these things? I want to be a slumlord.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't answer that question. Oh, wow, I do not understand what sequence these systems are. My outlier sometimes. Just these space stations, I'm picking like the ones that haven't been developed at all because I took them over and never noticed, are like some of the earliest ones in my queue. It's weird.
I think I think some of it might be a distance factor, like a raw distance straight line thing from your capital or something like that. I am not sure. I haven't been able to figure out how it works either.
So, trade route to Sol, come on. Come on, you know you want to. There you go. 0% is reaching Sol, but it's still...
Sexy 0%.
Sexy 0%. I did go in and comment on video 69 of your Stellaris LP serve.
Oh, really? That's the one with the winky face.
Yeah, it seemed like that video went up. I don't know. Like I noticed that video going up, but it seemed like some other things went up at around the same time, so I might not have seen all of them.
Yeah, a few went up around there.
In no particular order either.
It's interesting too because they were clearly in order in the menu of when they were put up, and then you like put all these live, and it's like whatever.
When things go live at the same time, they do not get ordered at all.
Well, what you could have done, of course, is gone in and manually entered slightly different upload times for all 60 whatever videos.
Well, if I was going to do that, they would have been spaced out by several hours each, probably, or something.
What I like now is that, like one a day or something. What I like now is that our mass fleets have replaced the giant space hat. So it still looks like Nexus 1 has a bunch of weird shit growing out of it.
Well, planets need hats, too.
Naughty planets need hats, too.
That's the name of my indie game I'm developing.
Your what game?
Indie game.
Oh,
Naughty
okay.
planets need hats.
So counting the big exciting countdown, 45. 44. Okay, maybe I won't count down the entire way.
Sarah Flugir, the planet of Sarah Flugir, has terror victims.
Never forget.
That's one of your planets, Surf.
Oh well.
Yeah, whatever.
Karen for those people. Those people of yours, they have the most benevolent overlord, don't they?
What did you say the planet was called?
Sarah Flugir.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that
You
important.
probably have gotten a pop-up, or you will soon.
Construction's complete somewhere.
Not that pop-up. Talking more about the established branch office pop-up.
Oh. Yeah, I probably got one of those. I'm just closing those as they come up automatically by our...
You've been trained well. You've been trained well. I don't know why they give... Well, I mean, I kind of do get why they give pop-ups, but... At the same time, you should probably be able to say, yeah, I don't really need to know if this one empire is opening them, because I want that. That's fine. I have no control over what they can do anyway.
So they kind of remind me of, I guess it was Civilization Call to Power 2, I want to say. Some weird, of the 800,000 games carrying the Civilization label, one of the ones I played were playing a multiplayer game with actual real people, and just the massive frustration when I would send, because I was playing a theocracy early, and I would go and do whatever thing meant that you got like 10% of the gold from the city based on spreading your religion there. Oh, it just pissed people off way out of proportion with the actual impact. To the point where later in the game, like, they were trying to be cutesy and like have some of those early game strats work later by having like televangelists as a thing in modern, but they didn't work anywhere near as well. But it was still like, I really need to try to have televangelists.
It's at 75% charging weapon.
I have to say, I'm watching the time in the video go up and the charge coming down, and just fingers crossed.
Do the math quickly, but
is it
you
gonna
don't
work?
want to do that in public.
Is it going to get there?
You don't want to do that, Paul. You don't want to do that out loud in case you make a mistake. And
Oh my.
edicts here. What edicts can I be doing to get some last second points?
Oh man, I have enough stuff for living metal mega construction now.
A little late.
Mega structures being built?
A little late.
Mega structure build speed is plus 50%. That's actually really good.
I got
But I think
architectural
that I
renaissance going.
finished the ones I had been building.
Oh, good. The turtles are sending more troops or more ships to bombard. Oh no, there's a Fox construction ship. What does it think it's doing here?
It's been on its way since before you even talked about going there.
Oh, this is going to be my system.
Well, it depends on how fast you are with the mouse.
I don't know. Do you think I have enough fleet power here to destroy that construction ship and end the Federation over the three engineering research that is available here?
Seems perfectly reasonable, really. I mean, that 3 engineering research could make all the difference.
It really
Actually, you
could.
probably will get it because I turned on an edict and now I don't have enough influence. By 79.
Ooh, sexy.
Mistakes were made.
Yep.
Well, I turned on edicts too. Otherwise, I should be. Can I do claims against my fellow Federation members? Because I should be claiming.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm already claiming. So I'm claiming those systems that were taken out of the middle of human space. Although I believe that was actually the demon face guy's space originally, but
They've been dead long enough that they don't matter anymore.
they're not dead though. They've interbred with like 8 billion other species. Which
Well,
is
yes, but they're
one of the reasons.
empire
Yeah,
dead.
that's true. That is true.
You dare.
You don't see a lot of people getting upset like, hey, that city, that you just moved into, pal? That belongs to the Hittites. Show a little respect. It's charging up.
I mean, it says it's
Charging my lasers.
It should be doing something to the planet already, you would think.
It's fine.
I mean, none of it's charging.
We gotta give time for Kirk and Sulu to have an exciting sword battle that we think might save the planet, but doesn't. Scientists gained a trait. Great, thanks.
All right.
One of my guys became a substance abuser, which blocked our view of the destruction of the final enemy world.
Don't worry, there's still 60% left. There's still plenty of game left.
There's still plenty of planet destruction left.
I mean, stuff is happening to the planet. It's just getting infused with energy. Although Ideon does cut planets in half a lot faster than this. It's need to up your game a little bit. Love how we're also still bombarding it too.
I just want to be really, really sure.
When you absolutely have to be sure.
Alright. Let's contact the contingency. See what they got to say.
Hey guys.
How are you still
How do you feel?
alive? This fight is to the end.
We feel so alive. Diagnostic complete. All systems nominal. Are they though? I don't know. Not exactly sure that your systems are nominal.
I'm a little surprised they don't have some sort of special conversation for, hey, we're about to be blown up. Oh crap.
Well, maybe when we get to 93% firing weapon, that will.
Don't really have any.
Suddenly, a huge fleet spawns.
That would actually be kind of funny. Just, I mean, with all of this fleet power here that we have.
Like, if a fleet strong enough to wipe these fleets out spawned, it would be like, alright, the contingency's not fucking around.
Yeah.
The end of the contingency. The contingency has failed. With the destruction of the last machine world, the galaxy no longer faces the threat of systematic mass extinction. All surviving contingency war forms are either powered down, there were none, by the way, or self-destructed, and the ghost signal is no longer being transmitted. The main nexus was vaporized by a world cracker beam from a colossus, which shattered the entire planet. Traveling outward at light speed, the intense light from the energy discharge will be visible to future generations for millennia to come as a bright, short-lived star. Across the galaxy, sapient beings are united in celebration of this great victory. The great victory of the humans. For the moment, at least, the future looks bright. This is a great day for the galaxy.
Their future is so bright, they have to wear shades.
Although it still looks like there's a ghost signal coming out of there to me. I don't know about you guys.
Now, do you guys have science ships there to survey?
Oh,
I
no.
was sending one, and then I was like, oh, it says it's already surveyed, so I didn't. Stupid science ship.
What would come of surveying it? Just because I'm wondering now.
The ability to build your
Yeah.
outposts.
And a chance to get anomalies.
Oh, that's right, because this planet's never actually been surveyed. I got you, because the system rather didn't exist.
Yep.
Huh. Well, I mean, I did have that idle science vessel for a while that was orbiting Earth.
Yep.
Is that worth extending for, or can we go into discussing the LP mode? Because I feel like that was what was going to end the LP, blowing up that planet.
Well, we still have this one little thing. I thought Old was taking us over. It was taking forever to get there.
Yeah,
hostile fleet's getting what's coming to them. I don't think we need to worry about that. I think that this can be the last episode. I mean, it's kind of a foregone conclusion.
Oh, I don't know.
But
The
it's so close to actually
the
being
Zoophon can actually come back at this point. I feel like they could defeat us if we're not really careful.
Stranger things have happened, and by that I mean season 3's over and season 4 hopefully is in the works.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it matters though. So, what do you guys think?
Oh, I'm trying to jump into the CX-9881 system with my science vessel.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
That's what you think.
I'll just say it.
That's what. I think I'm trying to jump into the system.
All right, well, we're done here. We're going home.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what I clicked on, but that really... Oh, research complete. That's what took so long.
No, it was autosave, the yearly
Research complete. That's what took so long.
How dare you argue with Zerf about this? He knows.
He doesn't, though.
Ooh, sounds like fighting words. I think it's time to boot him out of the Federation.
Don't do that.
No, seriously, though, what do you guys think?
I mean, I find that there's some vast improvements over the last time I played it.
Mm-hmm.
But it still just gets to that point where it's like you're just going through the motions.
Go conquer another planet. Click all the buttons on your planets, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I almost wish that something would happen with the AI that you're fighting against to make them more of a end game players. You know what I mean? Like they don't keep pace. I don't know if it's the difficulty level we have it on or whatever, but
part of it is the difficulty level. We can there is a newer option that allows you to ramp up the difficulty level over time. But my problem with the difficulty level is what it really does is it just gives the AI a bunch of bonuses.
Yeah, they're not. They're not
make
keeping
them
pace
better
with technology or taking each other over and conglomerating into a giant empire of destruction.
Well, they don't make good decisions.
Right.
Now, if we had quantum computers,
all it does for them is, like, you know, on this difficulty level they get an extra 20% alloy production and all the other production stuff and things like that.
That's
basically the exact same thing that Civilization does.
And I'm at the point in the Nobunaga's Ambition LP where I'm getting ready to, for those who are following that and know what I'm talking about, I'm getting ready to, like, okay, now I ended the little preliminary scenario and what I've recorded, and now I'm going to jump into the future scenario to get all the story. And I'm like, that was probably too easy. I need to ramp up the difficulty, but it is, like, you can adjust individual things, which I think is neat. But most of them are like, they get gold faster than you, they consume food slower than you, and it's like that just doesn't feel fair. But they do claim to have different AI, but mostly it's like aggression. So I'm like, okay, they'll just attack you whether or not it's a good idea. I don't know. But definitely this game for me is more fun early game when you're getting established. It starts to drag because, like both of you guys have already pointed out, the computer's really just not that good at running a big empire.
And like for me, the exploration is by far the most interesting thing for me. Mm-hmm. I love the exploration that you get. You know, surveying the new planets, getting all the you know, the different anomalies and everything like that. When that ends, it really does kind of hit a point where it's like, what do you do now?
Yeah, there's still a little bit of emergent gameplay, but not nearly as much.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember reading in the wiki about some of the endgame things that can happen before I ever played long enough to get there, and thinking they sounded really interesting, and then playing through once, because I've only ever gotten to the end twice, once solo and once just now, and both times I got the contingency. But like the feeling for both, particularly playing by myself without you guys, to kind of make it a social experience, was just like, okay, like I've put enough time into it now that I want to see it through to the end, but if it weren't for the knowledge that some kind of endgame crisis will come up and try to make things interesting at the end, I would have stopped by now. And probably the natural progression of it, like maybe they need to bring the end game up a little earlier.
Well, and they did put in options to set that, which obviously I didn't change that, and I should have.
Hey, order restored on Terminus. See, I knew we needed to not stop yet.
Oh, you must have done the optional Mass Effect 3 DLC where you put... Never.
like, I mean, the problem with the Endgame Crisis is that they just they're just big fleets that attack.
Yeah.
That's really it, and that's kind of boring. Like, I would, I don't know. I mean, like, I would kind of like to see some different things, but I have no idea what they could do. They are kind of limited by what the game is capable of, and
Yeah.
most of what the game is combat, space combat.
Mhm.
And it's not even really great. I mean, I coasted by on auto ship design, so I'm sure that you could tweak it more.
Yeah.
Oh, new things to research. But yeah, it really is like, I don't know. I mean, as much as I loved old school games like Starflight and Starflight 2, there was like, oh, go out and explore this universe and figure it out. And it's not all about being good at combat. You got all these other things you can do too. But at the end of the day, it was like, well, that was just one like kind of neat story told in computer form. This game gives you all sorts of little. There's all sorts of different scenarios that can come up, but ultimately, they all boil down to, you found this crazy scientist, and they're doing something crazy, and you came out of it with plus 5% mineral production for 100 years. I mean, it all boils down to game mechanics of a game that just after a while it gets ponderous. But I mean, got many hundreds of hours out of this probably, so you can't complain too much. It's not like you didn't get your money's worth.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Yeah.
But like one thing that I would like, and I don't think either of you have played Crusader Kings 2, correct?
No, I haven't.
No.
He's like, well, I have a 500 Let's Play series on my channel, but I guess you didn't notice.
But in that game, you get like lots of random events, and they tend to, I mean, you're playing a character as part of a dynasty and stuff like that. So a lot of it is personal, like, I just don't feel lustful anymore. I got injured in a duel, or when you're a kid, I have an opportunity to knock my guardian off the tower wall, kind of thing. But I kind of feel like
a raven.
they need some stuff like that. There needs to be more random events, like every few months, that change things, and they do that in Europa Universalis 4, which I haven't gotten into, but and you're playing a country there, and there just aren't enough random events to give you kind of a story. Once you've gotten all of the anomalies, then it's just about what empires you're conquering and stuff like that. And I mean, if you're doing any in-game role playing, which you might be doing, but other than that, that's it.
Yeah.
And I do find that once you've done all the exploration, it's just rote maintenance of your planets and periodic conquering.
Which didn't get super frustrating until we started getting slowdown on my end. But
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I noticed, and it's not like I'm trying to think how to put this right. It's not like I was annoyed with you, Ald, but I was definitely. There were moments where you were skipping really quickly past certain things because you'd already seen it before, and I'm like, I hadn't seen that. I'm trying to think. There was a specific example. I think I can't remember what it was. But no, because I remember coming out of it thinking like, you have played through these events enough times that I was hard to imagine. Well, for me, that would be one of the things about the game that would potentially be fun. And for you, it's like, I've seen that one before. That does plus 10, and I'm going to keep moving. And it's like, I get that. But when you reach the point where you've seen everything enough times that it's not worth reading about anymore, then it's like, well, yeah, what's left? Because, like you said, the random kind of events that would come up in Crusader Kings 2, where it's like, not Crusader Kings 2, the other game you're talking about, where you could have stuff happen to your young character. I guess it is just, that for me would be the most interesting part. But it's like this one, it's like, I played through the game 4 times, and there's like a 1 in 3 chance that you'll get the event chain about, the crazy thing with the scientist who discovered the Fountain of Youth, but then it turned out to be a fraud, and you can follow the event chain different ways. Like, once you've seen that twice, it's like, all right, so what's left? And I can't help myself. Like, if I'm in the solo game, I'll be like, oh, that event chain sounds neat. Let me go spoil it for myself by looking it up on the wiki and seeing what gives you the best outcome, which really undermines what should be the most interesting part of the game.
Well, when you're saying that, you mean the videos, like watching my videos?
No, I mean there were like one or two, because I would occasionally pause and read through an event thing, but yeah, like I feel like I'm trying to remember what triggered the comment, but like I think for sure something would pop up, and if we stopped and read every single one of those, it would make the LP take twice as long. But then instead, it's like, oh, here's the asteroid event. Close, like close, get out of my way. And I was like, oh, that would be potentially more interesting than another 3 videos of, click through planets until the next war. Because the wars were really interesting to me at first, but then by the, I don't know.
Yeah,
the wars got to be super easy too.
I mean, part of it is like I don't want to pause the game that much.
Yeah, because it already took as many videos as it did, and that's skipping past a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
So I was definitely on my end closing out stuff that was popping up, but I always try to make sure that I was not, like trying to urge you guys on when you encountered an event that you hadn't seen, you wanted to explore it and ask me about it and stuff like that. So
no, I mean you did fine. Like because I guess the one that I should have asked about was the one where I ended up. Although I did, we had.
And I honestly do not know why you got the bad event.
It was because I thought I could tell them they didn't have souls because I had a materialistic society, and we figured, you could treat them consistently with but that was completely random, and that was one of the most interesting stretches of game, I thought.
Sure, I'm just saying, like, I've gotten that event before, I've chosen that option before, and it didn't lead to a rebellion, so I don't know what happened.
Oh yeah, and I think that's interesting too, because they should almost, and it sounds like maybe they do have a setup like that. That this is the most likely scenario, but there's still a chance that this other thing might happen too, just to keep you guessing.
I think there is an element of that, actually. I think some of them do have.
So. Well, I don't think so. I mean, there's a few that have a chance, like when you get the grimacing anomaly, and you have a chance to do the instant terraforming. There is random chance in those, but I believe either there was an event that you didn't ask me about, or I wasn't that familiar with because it might not happen as often. But that choice right there, I'm pretty sure, if you've chosen other options, quote-unquote correctly, should lead to them not uprising.
Right. Well, I don't mean to dwell on the specifics of that, but I was like, that was kind of interesting. Other things like, I don't know, I felt a little out of the loop because I remember early on there was like, you can either get the Yazrat Homeworld event, which gives you such and such, or you can get the other event, these were all things that you guys knew from previous plays, and you guys were competing for things where I didn't even know what they were. But then if you did an LP where you went through like slowly and explained everything as it came up and roleplayed all of it, like it would be a 300 episode Let's Play. So
the game plays faster, and this is something that like I haven't gotten to the endgame crisis in one of my campaigns on my channel in a while. Yeah. Because I've seen them all, except for a new one that they've added recently. But I've seen them all, and I find them boring.
Yeah, it's not worth continuing because the beginning is so much more interesting than the end.
Right. And so when it hits a point where I'm snowballing, like if I hadn't been playing with you guys, I'd have ended this a long time ago because it was like it's guaranteed that I'm going to take over what I need in the endgame crisis and going to be a threat kind of thing.
Right. When I did my first solo playthrough, and I mean it was much earlier build of the game, but you could get. I mean, I don't know if I had my settings weird, but I got to the point where the galaxy didn't necessarily have a ton of. Like we seemed like they were going to take over the galaxy in my game. Mm-hmm. Except that there was a bunch of cheap strats you could do, like I'm sending one Corvette out there and it's going to fly around and you're going to chase it, and while you're chasing it I'm destroying your portal that lets you come in. Oh, I'm getting low stability somewhere.
The low stability strats,
there were sort of those I guess
cheesing the AI,
real-time strategy style things you could do in the game where you're like, okay, I can stay just outside of their weapons range, but they're going to chase after me, and I can make them circle around. I'll go to this other star system. Now they're chasing me. I'm going to go around in circles around the star system, but I have to click out of here once in a while to tell my other fleets to do stuff.
Right.
And I feel like that's not quite as prevalent, but also required.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, it's kind of like yeah, but that would be fun if you were playing an RTS, not a simulation game, right? So if like if you find some cheap way in StarCraft to get the AI to fixate on something, what?
There's trickery in war.
Yeah, but I mean, you shouldn't be able to get like a fleet of super advanced, like if you're fighting a fallen empire and they're supposed to be super advanced and they're all following around one Corvette. It's like, okay, at some point.
Yeah, that.
It doesn't feel like you're fighting an alien intelligence. It feels like you're fighting a crap AI.
Yeah, they have improved the AI in a number of ways, but they're still, they don't hold a candle to a human player, and it's just like I mean, and I've played a game where I bumped up the AI really hard, and I didn't find that fun either. Because it's just like all of a sudden everything in the galaxy craps on you, and that's not fun to play, in my opinion. But
the first stage of constructing a mega art installation combined with the difficulties of building a vast station with the complexities of organizing a museum and gallery on an unprecedented scale. With the basic structures in place, the vault will be the top priority. I don't care. Lost interest halfway through. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, when I do single players, I do read those events for people who haven't seen them. But since this was a multiplayer and you weren't seeing what I was getting, I didn't want to just read the stuff to you most of the time.
Right.
And I figure that most of the people watching my side, at least, have probably seen my other videos. So, you know, I did speed through a lot of the stuff.
Man, I was hoping this war was going to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm playing for time to try to get that war to wrap up. I feel bad if we left one little AI civilization on its lonesome.
I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Oh, but I had a plan for after the war was over.
Let's see if they'll surrender.
Let's just settle status quo.
Meanwhile, I'm pretty close to finishing.
What do you need?
Finishing this CY blah blah system. I'm almost got it fully surveyed. I even found an anomaly.
What? Oh, was it a fancy anomaly?
Well, I didn't stop to research it because I wanted to make sure that I finished surveying the system.
Darn it!
Well, my understanding is that anomaly is mine. Nobody else is going to steal it. Yeah, but even if it wasn't,
I got the same thing. I got an anomaly in general, and I was like, if I skip this, and he gets one. Oh man.
Oh boy, howdy.
Because I have no idea whose ship actually got into this system first.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm curious what those anomalies are.
Yeah, we could probably figure that out before we quit. My takeaway was that, like, I had fun. I'm glad we played. I don't feel the need to play Stellaris anymore now. I feel like I got my Stellaris fix permanently.
Now that said, they do change it considerably. So if you came back in a year, chances are there's going to be big changes, and it could be a whole fun new experience again. That's one of the things that I like about Paradox. They do, they come out with a game, and then the game continues to be developed, and the gameplay changes. Sometimes not for the better, but most of the time it really is a better experience the longer they develop it.
I kind of missed in the it would get unmanageable late game, but the early game where you actually had like a grid layout of a planet and you picked where to put stuff, and stuff had like, you'll get like a bonus to energy credits in the hexes adjacent to your initial colonization point. Like, I missed that a little bit actually. But no, I mean,
and the nice thing about that was that once a planet was fully built up, it's done. You don't need to worry about it anymore. You never need to look at it anymore.
Yeah. Which goes away with this.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the problems is like dealing with all the population, overpopulation, and I mean, I guess it makes sense from a simulation point of view, but like
It puts too much strain on the game.
it does, and there should be like, hey, there's overpopulation here. There's a huge impact, like a huge modifier for people want to move off this planet because you got an empty one over there. Let's fill that one up.
Yeah. One thing that I would kind of like to see is a change where you don't have literally every single planet operating the exact same way. Where basically you have core worlds and colony worlds, and all the colony worlds function very similar to just, the generic planet that has research or something like that. And you say, this is a farming colony, so it just produces 50 food, period. That's it. You do nothing else to it. Just because that would make it manageable. I mean, it would certainly be a lot less fun for people who enjoy the micromanagement and want to get, a perfect optimization and stuff like that. But it really does feel like they need to do that, because this is just unmanageable when you're big. And as much as they try to put in discouraging elements to growing big, you have to balance that out with people's desire to get big and stuff like that. I mean, if you make it so bad that people can't expand, they're just going to stop playing.
Yeah, I don't know that there's I didn't do a whole lot with setting up auto districts.
It's bad.
Yeah, because one thing the various Koei, big China, Japan simulator games tend to do. They almost always give you the ability to have an AI run the details of the city if you don't want to get into that. Yeah. And if you can resist the temptation to go in there and look and see if they're doing it the way you would do it, it's fine. You can get a backwater area where all it does is send gold and food to your frontline areas, which you're really, really managing carefully, and it's fine. And I don't know if this game does that very well, but because I don't remember. I think was it you, Zerf, talking about your brother? Maybe there are some folks who want to go in and I really do. I want to I want to optimize every single. I want to control what side the governor of this planet parts his hair on. I want to get to that level. And that's fine, but in this game, it's if you're not doing that, then you're getting all sorts of ugly red icons are appearing to let you know, hey, just so you know, this planet has bad shit's going on. Everyone hates you. It's no good.
Well, I mean, if you kind of want to get a feel for what the AI does, you can take a look at one of your vassals.
You can go in and take a look at all the prisons or law enforcement stuff that's being built on all these freaking planets for some bizarre reason.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, here's one that literally all of the planets buildings except for 2 are ruins.
CX-9881 has been fully surveyed.
Oh no!
And thus the game is mine.
Well, I guess so. My
What's actually going on? I'm sorry, with the Zuafon stars. Is somebody landing troops on their own?
Yeah, I'm landing troops, but there's 3 worlds, so I'm not going to get those.
You could have easily taken.
I did. I split it up into 2s because you can only have. You can't do 3 ways.
Oh,
well, I mean, if you have the right edicts going.
They're not paying attention to what's going on in this system right here. We got a big 3-way going on with these fleets.
Unfortunately, I'm not the human Star Republic. I can't have 3 ways.
We've got a 3-way going on. There's still a 3-way orbiting the planet Nexus 01 here.
The trick is if you have
no, I've moved out
multiple times and then rejoin them back together, you can end up with 3.
But we got the Colossus in there now. That's it's a whole species unto itself, and I think we know what gender the Colossus is. Take a look at that thing.
So what are the anomalies that you guys got?
I'm looking at it right now. It's rather I'm on my science vessel is slowly moving towards it.
Mine is, by chance we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? Or maybe some living metal that's going to rebuild the endgame crisis? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, actually,
it's very easy.
Let me be stupid.
And I have a level 7 guy going to survey it.
The CX-98812 has detected a faint trace of weapon radiation, indicative of a military spacecraft originating from CX-98811. And I thought I had a ship heading there, but now, where the hell are you? Okay, you are heading there. It's like a super length final video for this. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, I can start sending troops over to that last place. It's gonna bother me to have that.
It's not gonna take. You're not gonna get over there in time.
All right, but you are. Gonna,
I don't. Well, I don't. I think we're gonna get that done.
It's gonna bug JG for the rest of his life if we don't.
Well, it's bothering you too. Come on, I'm not the only one. But
I think
I'll get over it. I'm actually more upset about the Canasta Corporation down there. Whoever's vassal is still big enough to appear on the map. Because the Twaxidar Imperium doesn't bother me, because unless I really, really pay attention, it looks like it's just Terrapin Conglomerate because of the color. But the Canasta Corporation is like, oh no, guys, we missed a whole bunch of contingency systems.
Well, Zerf would have to integrate them, and then they might end up like the Awoken.
Oh,
they
man,
give him the planets. And then,
10 planets? Oh, man.
I have not actually had the Union's map mode off for a while. It's a lot more colorful than it was for my game.
Well, apparently when you turn it on, we all just turn Human Star Republic blue.
Yeah.
I
think because he's the one that created it. It should go with the leader. It should go with the leader's color.
What mode is this? This is neighbor map mode, Union's map mode. Yeah, no, I think that looks right.
Oh man, turn off sectors map mode.
You've had sectors map mode on?
Yeah.
Last session I was like, oh yeah, we need to add planets to the sectors now, don't we? I need to do that.
Oh man, we're having difficulty working with the natives on Gamma Draconis 2 in our mission to elevate their civilization from barbarism.
Eat them.
Unfortunate.
We are not the
20%,
Ixeldar.
negative 20% of the mission progress. It's only been half a millennia trying to get going.
Oh, were they the Stone Age guys?
Yeah, I think so.
How far along are you on that?
Oh man, I gotta go look.
Like, what's the percent?
Contacts, primitives. Oh, that might have been, yeah. Let's see.
Oh, trade routes map mode is kind of fun.
So I'm at.
The whole universe is heading
I guess
towards
it doesn't
Sol.
tell you specifically what percent, but.
No, but you can
how
usually
many
tell.
sticks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. It's like a third of the way up.
Oh my god, only? Wow.
Well, it just lost 20%.
Oof.
I think.
Oof.
Where are my other guys here? Unless these are the guys that lost 20%.
I think we should change
No,
the
that's
Zeta.
So now they're like tied. Holy crap! They were like, "Oh man, you guys gave us metal tools, but we accidentally stabbed ourselves." Oopsie.
The Krogan. We should change Zeta Reticuli, which is in Zerfal's space, to Zerfa Reticuli. I feel like would make more sense. All right, well, I'm ready to call it as soon as I'm done constructing a starbase in CX-9881. I think that's the main thing that should be the focus, or possibly investigating CX-98812.
Yeah, war.
I could probably end the war. Oh, I can achieve war goals.
There you go.
I think you should just surrender to them and turn over control
Well, I
of the Federation.
just got one of the planets.
They're just like, no, that's it. What are we gonna do? We got nothing. All right, so let's see here.
That's mine. End of the Zuothon Confederation.
There you go. It's all blue.
There we
If you
go.
have it in the right mode.
Perfect. If you have it in blue mode. We're all members of the Blue World Order. And 71% towards completing the starbase, which is truly important. Yeah, whatever. Ooh, vassalization request. Who's asking me to become a vassal?
Zerf, probably.
Well, I mean, there's only one other person it could be, so if you say it's Zerf, we are too weak to survive on our own in this hostile galaxy. Will the Human Star Republic protect us if we become your vassals? I don't feel right about clicking agree before we call
You
it.
have to press agree. It's our chance to become first place.
All right, let's see what that does to the score.
I want to see where your score goes with this.
I want to see if I suddenly take over the Federation.
Yeah, you did take first place.
There you go, folks. As it should have been.
So officially, on January 1st, 2500, the Human Star Republic will win the game.
And at last, the Federation has come back into my hands. Well, actually, it hasn't yet, but it probably will.
No, it's still. I still have better economy than you.
Money's
I'm
what makes the
still
world
the
go
leader.
round.
And really, that's the important thing. The Federation
And I still
president
managed
is
to be
me.
third place.
Well, I would leave the Federation, except I'm already in first place, and that could potentially do bad things to my score. But, I mean, obviously the real score was... man, you know what? Zerf, that didn't put me into first by very much. I think I'm ahead of Ald now by less than he was ahead of me before that happened.
Hey, that's all it takes.
Zerf no longer has the Federation bonus.
Shimmering
But
Pearl.
I do have 150 research bonus from finding this ancient life pod, so I got that going for me.
Sherpa Conglomerate will now support the independence of Surftopia. The Overlord will be none too pleased. Oh. I think it is time to leave the Federation and declare war on Ald. If he's gonna like insult my my right to rule over Surftopia, that cannot be allowed to stand.
Oh, geez, I just wanted you to integrate me.
I don't think I have enough. Oh, he's left. Wow. You can now use the expatriation and cause this belli. These would all be really interesting things to do if we weren't already talking about what our next Let's Play is going to be.
That's true. That is true.
Let me see.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I think that that's a good time to end it with JG in the winning position.
The big winner here.
To Zerfall cheat hacks.
He's
Interdimensional
standing
trade.
on
Oh,
the
but wait,
shoulders
no.
of giants.
Okay, so it's the really important things. First of all, I want to see how much it would take to integrate Surftopia. I could release subject. Integrating subject would cost me 7,594 influence.
I mean, it's possible if you hack the game and change your
Yes.
influence max.
But I've also got something really important you guys need to be aware of before we call it, which is interdimensional trade increases. The Mirror Dimension Human Star Republic reports that their economy is booming. Contributing factors mentioned were our portal trade, as well as recent victories over the warp beasts. Canasta Corporation, who cares? Yeah, but there you go, folks. The true winner champion is, of course, JG. We all knew this was going to happen. This was easier even than winning the Zerf Baseball Base Wars League. Not... JG wins everything at all times. But maybe I won't win the next Let's Play. The only way to find out is to watch it in its entirety, whatever it might be.
See you then, everyone.
That was a lot of fun, guys. Bye. Hope you enjoyed.